I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Pascual was born on May 16, 1540, on the day of Pentecost, which is why they gave him that name, because the solemnity of Pentecost is called in Spanish Pink in Pascual Easter or Pentecost Easter. Coincidentally, he died on May 17, 1592, also the feast of Pentecost. From the age of 7 to 24 years old, he worked as a sheep herder. From the field where he was grazing, he could see the bell tower of the town church. From time to time, he knelt to worship the Blessed Sacrament from afar. Pascual was wanted to be a religious and immediately stood out in the Franciscan convent of Saragossa in Spain. He had a great intelligence, unwavering faith, and an incredible dedication to prayer and adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. He barely knew how to read and write, but he was able to express himself with great eloquence about the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. On many occasions, he felt so much joy when he prayed that he began to dance. They often found him dancing also in front of the image of Our Lady, hence the name Bailón, dancer. Pascual was always happy and remained a lay brother all his life, against the advice of his superiors, because he felt unworthy of the ministry of the priesthood. He felt unworthy of touching Jesus in the Eucharist with his own hands. He also rejected any important task, carrying out the most humble tasks in the convent. He was porter, cook, errand boy, and a sweeper. But there was one task that he could not refuse, the one that he was entrusted in 1576 by the provincial minister to take important documents to the Father General who resided in Paris. The trip to Paris was long and dangerous. Pascual ran the risk of being assassinated by the Calvinists. On several occasions, he was beaten, mocked, and insulted. In the city of Orleans, he was also almost stoned to death for having engaged in a heated dispute over the Eucharist with his opponents. The Eucharist was so at the center of Pascual's life and spirituality that when he returned from Paris, he wrote a collection of phrases to demonstrate the real presence of Jesus in the bread and wine and to argue about the divine power transmitted to the Pope. This pamphlet reached Rome in the hands of the Pope and earned him the nickname Seraph of the Eucharist. Along with the material poverty that he sought and that accompanied him throughout his life, he was very rich in the gifts of the Holy Spirit, especially the gift of wisdom. Although he was almost illiterate, among the Franciscans he is considered a great theologian as well as a point of reference for the faithful. He often said, "You should never deny bread to anyone. When there is generosity and desire to share, a miracle always occurs." Tested by the mortifications of his body, Pascual died in 1592 in the convent of Villarreal after having taken Holy Communion, aware that with God we always win.